The mat under your feet at yoga class cost $90 retail. The factory that made it charged $3.80. Same rubber, same thickness, same antimicrobial coating, sometimes the exact same mold. The only thing that changed between the factory floor and your shopping cart is a logo and a story. And that story is worth $86 to someone, just not to you. Here is how it works. Most premium yoga mat brands own no factories, they own a brand. The actual manufacturing happens in a cluster of facilities in Fujian and Guangdong provinces in China, and a smaller cluster in Taiwan and South Korea. A handful of these plants supply the majority of the global yoga mat market. Budget mats, mid-range mats, and the $90 mats with the hand-stitched carry bag. Same building, different label. The material itself is TPE, thermoplastic elastomer, or natural rubber depending on what tier you're buying. The raw input cost for a standard TPE mat runs somewhere between $150 and $250 per unit at volume. Add labor, which in these facilities averages out to a few cents per mat at scale. Add energy, tooling, packaging. You land at $3 to $5 per finished unit. That is the factory gate price. That is what changes hands in the first transaction. Now the math gets interesting. The brand buys at $4. They ship to a US distribution center. Call it another $1.50 landed. They store it, pick it, pack it. Maybe $2 of logistics. They sell to a retailer at a wholesale price of around $35 to $40. The retailer marks up to $90. So by the time it reaches you, the original $4 object has been multiplied by a factor of 22. The factory that actually made the thing captured less than 5% of the final price. The brands know this looks bad if you say it plainly, which is why they never say it plainly. Instead, they sell you a framework. The mat isn't rubber, it's closed-cell natural tree rubber, sustainably harvested from FSC-certified forests. The grip isn't grip, it's microstructure alignment technology. The color isn't dye, it's non-toxic Oeko-Tex certified pigment. Every one of these phrases is technically accurate and almost completely irrelevant to what you are actually buying, which is a flat rubber rectangle that you sweat on. The sustainability claims deserve their own examination. Several top-selling brands market natural rubber mats as an eco-conscious choice. Natural rubber does come from trees, but the FSC certification that sounds so meaningful costs the brand a licensing fee and a paperwork audit. It says almost nothing about the carbon cost of shipping a mat from Fujian to a fulfillment center in Ohio to your front door. The transportation footprint alone can outweigh the material benefit. The certification is a story. The shipping container is a fact. And here's the part that brands really don't want discussed. Because these factories supply multiple brands simultaneously, the same production run can be split across labels. Factory takes an order, 3,000 units, natural rubber, 4mm, standard 68 by 24 inch. Half go out under a $40 brand label. Half go out under a $90 brand label. The factory didn't change the mold. The factory didn't change the compound. The factory changed the color and printed a different logo on the carry bag. That's the whole difference. The middlemen aren't just brands. Retailers take their cut, obviously, typically a 50% margin at shelf, but there's also the influencer layer. A single sponsored Instagram post from a mid-tier wellness influencer runs $10,000 to $30,000. Affiliate links on yoga blogs generate commissions of 15% to 20% per sale. The yoga teacher who recommends the mat in class may be receiving free product or a referral fee. None of this shows up on the price tag. All of it is baked into the $90 you hand over. Follow the money further and it gets bleaker. The factories making these mats operate on margins so thin that worker wages are held to the floor. A production worker in one of these Fujian facilities earns somewhere between $350 and $500 US per month. The brand's founder, who took the company public or sold to a private equity roll-up, may have cleared $50 million on exit. The person whose hands actually touched every mat in that factory will never see a number that size in a lifetime of working. That's not an accident. That's the design. Private equity has been particularly active in the wellness space. Several yoga mat brands that started as founder-led businesses with genuine craft ethos have been acquired, rolled into portfolio companies, and optimized. What optimization means in practice: find cheaper inputs, Consolidate to fewer factories. Raise the retail price point to signal premiumness. Cut customer service headcount. Extend the ambassador program because influencers are cheaper than advertising. The product stays the same or gets slightly worse. The brand story gets more elaborate. The margin expands. The founder cashes out. You get a glossier box. So what does a counter move actually look like here? The first thing is to understand what you are genuinely paying for versus what you are paying for symbolically. A $50 mat and a $90 mat from different brands may share a factory. That is not a rumor. It is a structural feature of how this industry is built. If you can find a mat's country of manufacture and material spec, you can often find near identical products at dramatically different price points. The spec sheet is the truth. The brand story is a markup. Specifically, search the material composition. TPE mats at 6 millimeters with a textured surface and standard dimensions are a commodity. They are made in the same region, often the same factory, regardless of what name is on the front. A direct-to-consumer brand with low marketing overhead can sell that mat for $25 and still make money. The $90 brand cannot explain the $65 gap in terms of materials because the materials are the same. They can only explain it in terms of brand, which is to say in terms of what you're willing to believe. There is one category where price does track quality in this market, and it is worth knowing. Truly thick, dense natural rubber mats from a small number of specialty manufacturers do carry a cost premium that is real. 5 or 6 millimeters of high-density natural rubber does cost more to produce than a TPE mat, and it performs differently under load. The price gap there is maybe $20 to $30, not $65. If you are buying above that threshold, you are buying a brand. Know which one you're doing and make the choice deliberately. The deeper thing the yoga mat reveals is not about yoga mats. It is about how a commodity becomes a luxury. The formula is consistent across dozens of product categories. Take an undifferentiated manufactured good, attach a narrative about identity or values or sustainability, price it to signal status, and market it through channels that feel like community rather than advertising. The factory price stays at $4. The story price is whatever the market will bear. The gap between them is the entire business model. And it works because most people never think to look at the factory end of the chain. You now know what the factory charges. You know the mat under your feet and the mat in the $100 boutique carry bag may have come off the same conveyor belt in Fujian. You know the sustainability copy is mostly marketing and the influencer recommending it is on commission. None of this means you can't buy a premium mat. It means you can buy it without the story clouding the price. The floor is $4. The ceiling is whatever story you're willing to fund. That's the only real choice on the table.